Hello and welcome to my channel. In this tutorial we're gonna do this stitch. It's a very easy stitch, 2 rows repeat, very easy rows to do. This is the one side, the front, let's say. Well, I choose this one to be the front, I like this. And this is the back. Yeah, I was showing this sample to my husband and I was asking, I don't know if this stitch exists, and I was asking him to help me to come up with a name, and he looked at the stitch and he said, well, it looks like that song, Ella Fitzgerald, a Tisket, a Tasket, something like that. Some of you might know the singer, Ella Fitzgerald, and she has that famous song, like a children rhyme or something like that. But the stitch is very easy. It's nice to do a scarf, a blanket, even a wrap if you like. Yeah. Okay. This stitch works with multiples of 3, so I chain here multiples of 3. The sample that I just showed you, I did it with 3.5 millimeter crochet hook, even though the yarn, it says that I should use 4 millimeter crochet hook. So you're gonna choose whatever yarn and the crochet hook that you like. With this yarn I'm gonna use 4.0 millimeter crochet hook. So it depends on the yarn that you're going to use, you will adjust the crochet hook number. Yeah. So I have multiples of 3, 15 chains here. I'm going to skip the first 2 chains from the hook, and into the third chain I'm going to do a double crochet, chain 1, yarn over the hook, and into the same chain where we did this double crochet we're going to do a double crochet. And this row is gonna be like the V stitch. If some of you are familiar with that, you'll know how this row is gonna work. So we're gonna skip the next 2 chains, and into the third chain we're gonna do a V stitch. So we're gonna do a double crochet first, chain 1, and 1 more double crochet into the same chain. And we're gonna do like this until the end of the row. So yarn over the hook, skip the next 2 chains, and in the third chain we're gonna do a double crochet, chain 1, and 1 more double crochet into the same chain. Again, skip the next 2 chains, and in the third chain we're gonna do a V stitch, so a double crochet, chain 1, and 1 more double crochet into the same chain. So you're going to be left with 3 chains. We're going to skip the next 2 chains, and in the third, the last chain, yarn over the hook, we're going to do a V stitch, so a double crochet, chain 1, and 1 more double crochet into that last chain, chain 3, and we're going to do 1 more row of V stitches. So the first V stitch here we have in the beginning. So into this 1 chain space we're gonna do a V stitch. So you go into that space and you're gonna do a double crochet. Is it close enough for you guys? Okay. Chain 1, and 1 more double crochet into the same space there. Move to the next V stitch. So into this space, the 1 chain space, we're gonna do a V stitch, 1 double crochet, chain 1, and 1 more double crochet into the same space. Move to the next V stitch, and into the space there we're gonna do a double crochet, chain 1, and 1 more double crochet into the same space. So this is like the base when we start. So we move to the next V stitch, we're gonna do the same, double crochet, chain 1, and 1 more double crochet into the same space, and we reach the end with the last V here. So we're gonna do a double crochet, we're gonna do a V stitch, chain 1, and 1 more double crochet into the same space. And this is how you're gonna finish always with this stitch. We have the chain that we skipped in the beginning. So on top of the chain right there, we're gonna do a double crochet. This is how we're gonna finish with this stitch. So we're gonna chain 3. You're always gonna chain 3 at the end. Turn your work, And now we have 2 rows of V stitches. So yarn over the hook, we're gonna do the same V stitch, but we're gonna go to the first row below, not this one. We're gonna go below into this one, into that space. Through that space, pull up a loop and do a double crochet, chain 1, and I'm gonna go back into the same space and do a double crochet. And this is the stitch that we're gonna, well, at least this row. Yeah. So the next V stitches, we're gonna go below to the first. So we go in there, pull up a loop, make sure that it's high enough, do a double crochet, chain 1, and 1 more double crochet into that same space. And we're gonna move to the next V stitch, and the row, the first row, we're gonna do the same. I'm gonna do a double crochet, chain 1, and 1 more double crochet into the same space. So this is one of the rows that you're gonna repeat. Yeah, this one that we're doing now. So again, next V stitch, we're gonna go below the first row. So we're gonna do a double crochet, chain 1, and 1 more double crochet into the same space. So at the end we have the V stitch, so we're gonna go below there, and we're gonna do a double crochet, chain 1, and 1 more double crochet into the same space. And now we have here at the end we have the last the chain here, so we're gonna go on top. Yeah, the chain 3 that we did, yarn over the hook, we're gonna go on top of the 3rd chain, and we're gonna do a double crochet. You're always gonna finish with a double crochet, chain 3, turn your work. And now this row that the row that we just did, and now this row, these are the 2 rows that you're gonna repeat. Yeah. So we're gonna work into this space, the V's here, the space right there, the first space. So we're gonna do a V stitch, double crochet, chain 1, and 1 more double crochet into that space. Move to the next V, and we're gonna do a V stitch, double crochet, chain 1, and 1 more double crochet. It's a very easy stitch and goes fast, but of course it's gonna eat a lot of yarn. So you're gonna move to the next V stitch, the space, and we're gonna do a V stitch, double crochet, chain 1, and 1 more double crochet. You move to the next V stitch, into that 1 chain space, you're gonna do a V stitch. So at the end here we have the last V, so we're gonna go in there, we're gonna do a V stitch also, double crochet, chain 1, and 1 more double crochet into the same 1 chain space. So we have the chain 3 at the end. We're gonna go on top of the 3rd chain right there and do a double crochet. You're gonna chain 3, turn your work, and now yarn over the hook. Again, you're gonna go below. Yeah, you're gonna go below, not here on top, but here in through this space right here. So we're gonna do a V stitch. So pull up a loop, do a double crochet, chain 1, and we're gonna go again for the 2nd double crochet. You move to the next V stitch below. We're gonna go not the top, below, and we're gonna do a double crochet, chain 1, and 1 more double crochet into the same space. So again, next V stitch we go below, 1 row, chain 1, and 1 more double crochet into the same space. The next V stitch you're gonna move below, 1 row, and you're gonna do a V stitch, which means a double crochet, chain 1, and 1 more double crochet. And now at the end we have the last V, so we're gonna go below right here, and we're gonna do the same, 1 double crochet, chain 1, and one more double crochet into the same space, and we have the chain 3 here, 1 2, and the third one, it's right there on top. So we're gonna do a double crochet, chain 3, and you're gonna repeat the second row, which you have to do double crochet into this first one chain space here, right here. So we're gonna do a double crochet, chain 1, and one more double crochet. So you move to the next V stitch, the one chain space there, and you're gonna do the same. You're gonna do a V stitch, the next V stitch, you're gonna do a place in there a V stitch, and you move to the next. I think it's nice to do a wrap with this. You can do a scarf, and the last V stitch is here, so you're gonna go into that, do a double crochet, chain 1, and one more double crochet into the same one chain space, and you have the chain 3 space here. I'm gonna go on top, the third chain, and we're gonna do a double crochet. You're gonna chain 3, and you're gonna repeat the row that you have to go one row below. Yeah, so you're gonna go here and here and here. Yeah, and at the end you have the chain 3 space, and you're gonna do on top of the third chain here a double crochet, and so on. So this is the stitch. I use a bigger crochet hook than this yarn recommends. I think this yarn recommends that I should use 3.5mm crochet hook, but I use the 4.0. So if you like this with the thicker, you can do that, or you can do it with thinner yarn. Looks like this. It's very nice, it's very easy. Even for a pillow cover, I think it's nice. Yeah. Okay, well, thank you for watching. Have a good day. Bye bye.